Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. A traffic stop for expired registration by Hopkins County deputy on State Highway 11 near Farm to Market Road 269 resulted in the arrest of Neil Curtis Brown, age 34, of Winsboro. The deputy found Brown to be wanted on a Titus County warrant for probation violation for larceny. While speaking with Brown, he gave verbal consent to search the vehicle for illegal contraband. A small, clear baggie containing a crystal-like substance believed to be methamphetamine was located in a big blue soda can from which Brown had been observed drinking at the time of the stop. Brown took responsibility for the substance that, when tested, proved to be methamphetamine. Brown is in Hopkins County Jail, charged with possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1, more than 1 gram but less than 4 grams. He's held on a $45,000 bond. Wednesday, February 13th at 11 a.m., a grand opening for the new courtroom located next to the Law Enforcement Center will celebrate a 10-year dream of County Judge Robert Newsom and the work of Commissioner's Court during the last 2 years. Judge Newsom was district judge when he first sought Commissioner's Court approval for the facility. The new courtroom will be the site for 8th Judicial District Court criminal cases and any other criminal cases that will be deemed necessary regarding safety and convenience that is found at the facility. Judge Newsom said it is a matter of safety for inmates, judges, and lawyers to have the courtroom uniquely situated at the Law Enforcement Center. He also noted that the new facility is equipped with cutting-edge technology that will better serve attorneys and juries, and he called the room very practical. It's taken over 1 year to complete the courtroom. Rain and other weather conditions have made it difficult to build. However, Newsom says the room is a better courtroom than expected. He noted that the building is still under construction budget. He said the room will be used for almost all District 8 work. With the new courtroom, the second-floor courtroom of the county courthouse will continue to be used on an almost daily basis. The courthouse room will be used for some criminal cases and all civil cases, including those tried in the 62nd District Court. County Court at Law will use the second-floor courtroom, and even Judge Newsom will use the room for probate and mental cases. Judge Newsom will also assist with some county criminal cases when needed. Next to the new courtroom at the Law Enforcement Center will be the new office for the district attorney and his staff. That building, currently under construction, should be completed sometime after April 1st. After 2 years of an uncertain future, the Northeast Texas Children's Museum has announced the purchase of a 26,500 square feet building along Highway 11 East in Commerce. The building is located on approximately 7.9 acres and meets the museum criteria for building space and an outdoor play area. The move from the current location is scheduled for September 1st, 2019. The Northeast Texas Children's Museum had its beginning in the defunct David's grocery store in early 2002. The museum struggled with the rising costs of the lease, and in 2006, under the leadership of Dr. Keith McFarland, Texas A&M University Commerce offered a new location on the campus. The Children's Museum moved to the building formerly known as Watson's Cafeteria. For the next 13 years, the Children's Museum continued to grow, increasing the number of visitors each year. When the future of the museum at this location became uncertain because of lease restrictions and the age of the building, the board of directors were forced to consider other possibilities. One option was to relocate as part of a proposed agricultural complex on Highway 24. When a building became available just a few miles east of the current location, the museum's board of directors began to envision this building as a potential site for their new home. In November 2018, Charlene Freeman, executive director of the Children's Museum, approached the Commerce EDC board of directors who owned the building with a request to purchase. With 30,000 visitors annually to the Children's Museum, the CEDC acknowledged that the Children's Museum is a great asset to Northeast Texas, especially Commerce. Again, the Children's Museum will be moving September 1st of this year.
There is a brand new fishing festival planned for Lake Fork later this spring, and it's for everybody of all ages from all the surrounds and counties around the Lake Fork area. It will be a tournament, first of its kind, and set for May. So let's meet Michael Rogie, who is president of the Lake Fork Area Chamber, and Kiki Bettis, who is executive director of Wood County Industrial Commission, about the Bassmaster Texas Fest Elite Series Tournament.
The thing about the Lake Fork Area Chamber of Commerce is that we're a virtual chamber.
Okay.
We do not have a storefront like all of the city chambers do.
Okay.
And we try to work with all of the city chambers to promote ideas and events and things that's happening around the area. And when I say area, I'm talking about everything that includes Hopkins County, Sulphur Springs, Range County,
Okay.
all the way through up to Winsboro and above, and all the way down to Hawkins. And, you know, we try to help or participate in all of the different chambers. We don't try to take anything away from all of the other chambers, but what we try to do is kind of meld together everybody.
Right. It's kind of that there's nooks and crannies everywhere out around the lake where people live and where communities exist, and the Lake Fork Chamber strives to serve in all the ways that you can.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings us to this major event that you are planning in May.
We were approached by Bassmaster, one of the premier fishing organizations in the country. This will be the first time that Lake Fork has ever hosted a tournament put on by a major fishing organization, Bassmaster. And they came to us and wanted to know if they could put on what they call the Bassmaster Texas Elite Fest. It's one of their Elite Series tournaments, and it will have 80 contestants, all of the premier bass fishermen in the country. It will be the first weekend in May. It will start the 2nd of May and go through Monday the 6th. So this is not just a one-day deal. This is going to be probably a week or two deal.
Okay, so we're calling it a Texas Fest.
Texas Fest.
And it's truly going to be a festival.
Yes.
Did you say its limit is 80 contestants?
They have a limit on their Elite Series of 80 people or 80 contestants per tournament.
Okay.
Now, this is a tournament. This is not a. In the past, we've had something similar to this, but this is a tournament with a festival wrapped around it.
Okay.
And a major thing is it's a major contributor to the Texas Parks and Wildlife,
Okay.
because they will benefit greatly from the participation of this.
Texas Parks and Wildlife plays a large role all around the lake all the time. If you're fishing, if you're out there, you'll know their presence.
Oh yeah, Texas, the Parks and Wildlife, Lake Fork has been their star pupil for many, many years. There's many records that Lake Fork has created that will never be broken. I say never, and they say never, but I'm saying it, that they'll never break the records that Lake Fork has.
Okay. So, and we've had various types of tournaments there, other types of fish featured, but this is a Bassmaster.
This is black bass,
Okay.
but Fork has many different species that people go after.
Right.
They go after catfish, they go perch, they go crappie or sand bass or whatever. And we bring people in from all over the country and all over the world. I was a guide out there for 25 years. I've had people from Japan and Germany, and I know other guides out there have had people from all over the foreign countries and everything else. We held a big carp tournament here 2 or 3 years ago.
Really?
And we had people from Romania and England, and I mean, this is an international body of water.
It is.
And it sits right in the middle of northeast Texas.
Kiki, you are not from the Lake Fork area originally?
Well, I've been in Texas long enough that I can say that I am from this area. But no, I was born and raised half my life in California.
Okay.
But my family's from this area, so we moved here back in the early 90s, and I'm a Texas girl now.
Okay, yeah, I believe that you are. Do you fish?
Absolutely, especially Lake Fork. But yes, I do fish. I'm not, up to par with Rogie or anything, but I can hold my own, I can tell you that.
So all people from all walks of life and families of people who like to fish, friends of neighbors of people who like to fish, want to come to Lake Fork, all can be involved in this festival.
This festival, what we're trying to gear this festival to be is that the tournament, let me explain a little bit about the tournament.
Okay.
The tournament actually starts on Thursday, and the first 2 days will be elimination rounds.
Okay.
They'll fish Thursday and Friday. Then Saturday, it's party time.
Okay.
We're going to have a festival out there at the lake. This is all be held out at the SRA complex. We're inviting all of the cities around to participate and bring and have a booth or a spot that free of charge for all of the chambers or the EDCs or whatever from all of the cities. We're going to have different events going on. We're in the process now of working out what we're going to call the Dam Run. Now, it's going to be classified as the Dam Run. We're going to run your bass off, and what they're going to do is the SRA has opened up the dam, basically, and they're going to allow us to run across the dam, all the way across the dam and back, which will let them run across the spillway and everything. Many people have seen that dam, but they've never been up on it, and the SRA is going to allow that. And it'll probably be about a 6K run, 5K, 6K run at this point. But during this festival, we're going to have booth space available for anybody that wants to come and set up any of their wares or information or whatever. We're going to have bands out there just for background noise. We're going to have adult beverage tents out there. We're going to have games for kids. We're even talking or thinking about trying to get a little deal put together called a cardboard boat race, where we get some people to build some cardboard boats and race them across the little lagoon there. But I want to stress that this is for everybody, all of the different communities around.
Okay.
And if you've got something that you would like to bring there and show it, we'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. It is, of course, there will be a vendor fee for this.
Okay.
But the cities, when they bring their chambers in or their EDCs in, those are all going to be booths.
Okay.
They don't charge for those.
Okay.
That way they can promote their area and their city and community and chamber. So
Absolutely.
that's why they get the comped space.
Okay.
We want the cities to participate. We want them to show what they have, and because, like I said, we got people coming in from all over the world. If they don't know there's something specific in Sulphur Springs, they won't come here. But if there's something up there that holds their interest, they'll be more than happy to drive that 12 miles, which is nothing, to come up here.
We have a lot here in Sulphur Springs, downtown and other parts of our city that we want people to know about, and new things that have just begun to unfold.
We want to showcase that. That's the purpose of this thing. The Chamber and the WCIC, the Range County Tourism Department, we've all got together and we've come up with a deal that let's do something for the area. Let's not just be individual on this thing. We're going to try to do everything we can to make this. I know we're not going to make it an annual event because they try to change up in different lengths, but good possibility we may be able to get it back next year again, so that might give us 2 years in a row. but it would be something that we could really showcase the area with.
When you're saying showcase, and you've already said festival, it's really also an expo, opportunity for an expo.
Correct.
Yes.
Really like nothing has been before. There's not been something just like this pointed in this direction with the goal of getting all the communities around to participate, and also knowing that they receive the benefit from what goes on at Lake Fork.
Kiki's got the phone numbers and stuff that they can call for that.
If you want a vendor booth application, you can email the Lake Fork Chamber at info@lakeforkchamber.org.
Okay.
You can also obtain it on the WCIC website, which is woodcountytx.com. You can call 903-768-2402. Or you can call Emory Tourism, 903-474-3022.
Okay.
One of those entities will be able to get you a vendor application or give you any information regarding the tournament and the festival that's going on that week.
Okay. And when you find out about this, you're going to want to know more about the Bassmaster Texas Fest Elite Series tournament coming up in May. And so tell your friends and neighbors about it and make it a party, like you already told us that Saturday is going to be party time.
Yeah, it's going to be a party time. One other thing that we didn't mention that is going to happen on Saturday, Bassmaster is taking 12 of their top fishermen, and they're inviting 12 high school kids from across the nation, and they're flying them in here to have a tournament. And they're going to have a tournament on Saturday, and that tournament will be held at Lake Quitman. So it's, this is something that we had never seen in this area. And when you bring a national organization like Bassmaster in here, it's something else. You can get all this information, or you can get a lot of information about the tournament on bassmaster.com also.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, my curiosity is piqued, and I'm looking forward to finding out more, just like I think our listeners probably are. We've just sort of touched the surface this morning of the plans that are unfolding daily, I'm sure,
yes,
for the Bassmaster Texas Fest coming up in May.
That's right.
That's true.
Yes.
Kiki, thank you for coming and sharing some of your time with us this morning, and I hope you'll come back again.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, there's going to be time, Michael, for us to do this again, and you bring a little bit fuller picture to us.
When we get a little bit more information and get some of these things nailed down, we'll be more than happy to come back.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you both for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
And good fishing to you both.
Thank you.
Here's Don Julian with sports.
The Wildcats baseball team had their first scrimmage of the season at Wildcat Park Monday night as the Sherman Bearcats came to town. The teams took advantage of good weather and played 9 innings over 3 hours. Wildcats coach Jared Hammock used 4 pitchers, and there were lots of at-bats. More on that first scrimmage from Coach Hammock.
Well, we got off to an inauspicious start. I think we got 2 up, 2 down maybe, and misplayed a ball in the outfield, and then after that, which could have been the 3rd out, I think we had a couple of walks, a hit, another walk, and just the next thing you know, we were down 3-0. So not exactly the way we wanted it to go. We got plenty of people in scoring position and did an okay job of bringing them in, but I thought we missed a lot of opportunities. I think we had a bases loaded, nobody out, and then ended up didn't score. First 2 guys struck out, next guy hit a pop-up to the infield. So you got to be able to get them in from third with less than 2. But I thought once we settled in, we saw some good pitching down the way. We did end up scoring more than they did in the 9-inning scrimmage. So that was good. But, I mean, we obviously have a lot that we can fix and improve upon, and things that are in our control. And so, we still feel good about this bunch and the potential that is there, but, we're certainly not in mid-season form.
How did you pitch, and how did they do?
Well, Payson started out. He threw the first 2. Like I said, looked, I thought, really sharp early. Then the mistake in the outfield, couple of walks, base hit, you know how those things go. not earned runs because we should have been out of it, but ended up with 3. He came back in the second inning and threw a really good second. Jace Birchfield threw 2, I want to say scoreless. Will Sims comes in and does a really nice job. I mean, we don't really have anybody right now that spots the ball any better than him. He can throw every pitch for a strike whenever the count. I think after Will went to Jackson Ch.18, did a good job, and then we finished up with Cameron Harrison, who was going to throw 2, but their coach, after the 9th inning and Cameron's first inning, he was done. He didn't have anybody else. So.
Now, how about your hitters? Anybody tagging the ball early? Or?
Well, Jace Birchfield actually had 2 really sharp hits. Even though he didn't get a hit on these, Caden Argenbright squared a couple up that just were right at people. And, we didn't hit the ball like I feel like we will eventually. And, again, mostly for me it was about the fact that when we had runners in scoring position, we just did not get them in as often as we should have. I'm just trying to get them to understand the value of trading an out for a run. I don't care if you ground out second base, but you score the run from third. I mean, if we do that enough, we'll win ball games. It's not about your average. It's about you driving in runs. And so we've got to kind of get understanding that and not get those guys in. When they're there, you've got to get them in some kind of way.
I'd rather have this conversation now than in the 3rd or 4th district ball game.
Oh, absolutely. And again, we're notorious, which I'm fine with. I like to say I don't want to be in midseason form right now. Right. We want to gradually build to that and be playing really good baseball by the time we start district, and then maybe even turn it up another notch as we enter the playoffs, hopefully. So we kind of build on that as our plan. It's not that I don't want to play good now, but it's just that we don't want to be at our best yet. And so we're gradually going to get there, figure it out, and we've got enough talent to do well.
Now, you got second scrimmage coming up Friday. Terrell's coming to town. Will you treat that one any different or kind of the same way?
Basically the same. The ones that did not get the pitch, because it's hard to throw as many guys as we've got in a scrimmage, because you want guys that you feel like you're going to be able to count on need to get their innings and the pitch counts going and their arms in shape. So we may do our own little scrimmage against each other for the ones that might not pitch in the second one either. So we'll just kind of go see that. But we'll just kind of do it the same way and just hope that we will show some improvement. And I don't think the weather's going to be nearly as nice as it was last night. Right. It couldn't have gotten any better than last night. I think it's going to get colder, maybe a little more damp. But, if we can play it, we're going to get it in.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.